Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, 다들 하지 뻔한 이야기.
Okay, I got to tell you guys about our new product, the Pickleball Box, which is delivered to your doorstep. All the latest gear, apparel, accessories, you name it. Probably like the perfect gift for anybody you know who plays pickleball. Or if you're like me and you like having the freshest gear, you like having all the latest, you like having new equipment, and you play a ton, this is perfect. So let me show you what's in this box. So we've got Vulcan overgrips, Stack athletic hat, Imperial hat with a cool little pickleball on it. By the way, let's go back to this Stack athletic. That thing is awesome. All sorts of Jigsaw hydration products. We've got an ice shaker, which is the Gronkowski product. Pretty cool. OS First pickleball socks. Of course, we've got tons of pickleballs. Cool stickers for your laptop or your water bottle. Lead tape from Pickle. We've got Selkirk gift card for you. Some pretty cool sunglasses from Tifosi, the Swank glasses. We got sunblocks, you don't get burned out there. Turna sports towel. Pickleball magazine, a classic, an absolute classic. And you can get all sorts of stuff. Every box is going to be different. You might get like a Stack Athletics hoodie. I wear this thing every day. You might be looking at some cool pullovers. And there's all sorts of cool stuff. So you can subscribe. It's $99 for a box if you pay annually, or $125 if you pay quarterly. There's over $250 of value in the box. So I really don't see why you wouldn't want to get all this cool stuff. It's a perfect gift. It's also just awesome if you're an avid pickleballer. So subscribe, thedink.shop. Go to thedink.shop and check it out.
The Pickle Pod. So, I'm talking. All right, I'm talking real quick. I got to say a few things, and then I'll introduce these people, because obviously nobody knows who you are.
Jimmy Miller,
so,
we're nobody.
I mean, kind of. But after today, you might be a somebody. And also, look, Thomas isn't here. This might be our best podcast yet. He's really given us the reins, and that's a scary thought. But some ground rules. As you guys know, Jason, big fan of the podcast. So we have a Stop Alzheimer's Now swear jar. So if you swear, you have to donate $20 to the swear jar. We also have corporate matching from ProXR and Game Plus in Canada, Access TV here in the US. Game Plus is the place where you watch Major League Pickleball in Canada. Mm-hmm. Access TV, that's where you watch it here in the US. So thanks to those guys for sponsoring the potty mouth.
That's the whole reason we're here.
I know.
We need tax deductions bad.
Did you bring the cash?
I do have cash.
Do you really?
A wad of it.
Nice. That's good.
I only have pesos.
That makes sense.
Jesus.
So you guys both know we have been playing pickleball over at Sean's house. Sean is the guy that runs the Stop Alzheimer's Now nonprofit that we all work with, and we're doing a year-end big give where, do you guys know how much money we have raised so far for Stop Alzheimer's Now?
I'll
take a stab. It's like $25K.
25K?
26 now.
We are at 27K.
Wow.
We are at
Closer.
27K.
Price is right.
The cool thing is every single dollar is being matched by an individual. So we're really at 54K
To be named later.
To be named later.
All right.
54K.
Yeah.
That's 20 more, baby.
Come on.
Sean watches these and he texts me exactly how much I owe every single time.
I think we should
He's
put
going to pay for me.
Is he really?
No, but
I-
maybe he will now.
I think we should put a challenge out to Sean to double up on this episode.
Ooh.
For whatever we say. Just beef it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, but maybe he matches it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He personally matches it?
Double matches it. It's like a 2x factor, 3x on it. So
Why don't we just tell him to give a $1
done. Well, we hit our goal.
There we
We're
go.
good. But I was going to tell you in regards to that. So we have a couple of people that are going to match today that I've
Really?
talked to. Yes. So they're scared shitless right now because they don't know where the fuck this is going to go. So Carbon actually is going to match whatever
nice.
comes out of our dirty mouths today.
They have money?
They do now, even after last year's debacle, unfairly. But yeah, and then your boy Eric Lang, my boy, He's gonna match. Something tells me he's gonna cap it at some point because I know him.
That's
very
fair.
smart, wise guy with a couple kids. Yeah, so he's gonna do the same, and then there's a couple other silent ones that are probably gonna donate as well. So we're gonna beef this baby up a little bit.
That's awesome. Well, hey, sweet. So yeah, as mentioned, we're doing a year-end big give. 100% of any donations are going to Alzheimer's research. So please check it out. There are also incentives. If you donate a certain amount, you can get signed paddles, you can get clinic spots, you can get dinners, you can even get a ticket to the Pickle Slam where like McEnroe and those guys are playing.
Never heard of them.
That's a big donation amount.
Seen him
but
play. It's not...
check it out. StopAlzheimersNow.org. All right. So I promised I would introduce you guys. Over here we have Jason Bock, and we also have, well, you guys all recognize him, Rafa Nadal. Rafa, how excited are you to be on the Pickle Pod?
Well, it's unbelievable podcast now. It's my favorite podcast. And I'm very happy to be here. Unbelievable season now, but thank you very much, Zane Auratil, for unbelievable opportunity now.
Yeah. So you see Jack Sock is playing with Catherine Parenta. Who are you playing with in 2024?
Well, it'd be very tough for me to get a partner now, but I might ask some people, maybe Johnson Cola. He's
Good-looking
unbelievable.
guy.
He's very old, but very good. Very big ass, but he's very powerful in the Cocina line now. But it will be very fun to play with him. But mixed doubles, I don't know, maybe Anali Aguas, maybe?
Anali Aguas?
Anali Aguas. She's an unbelievable player
Is
now.
that a
But
brand of water? What was
she's
that?
very young, but unbelievable forehand. And it will be unbelievable team now. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Rafa.
Awesome. Well,
Swear jar.
well, this is Carlos Delora. Carlos is a buddy of mine from Austin over here. We've been training a bunch. Carlos, you want to say a little bit about yourself? Because I'm not going to do that shit.
Sure. Yeah, I'm from Peru originally, but I've lived in Austin most of my life. So not like those fakes that say they're from Austin, but they've only lived here a year. I've actually been here since 2004. So that's quite a bit of time. Recently got into pickleball.
Damn.
No, not you. Yeah, come on.
I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean. Everyone's moving here.
No, who are you talking about specifically? Call them, name names.
Oof.
Who's a fake Austin player?
Don't bitch out right now.
Johnson Cola.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's my second shout out to John. I might have a crush on him.
We know.
I saw him play their last game.
No, but yeah, obviously I played tennis at Texas Tech, played some pro events. I would never say I played pro tennis, but I did, dabble in some.
That sounds like a shout out. That sounds like a dig at somebody too. Come on, name names, bro. That's what this is for.
Dude, I could go that route.
Yeah,
how
we're waiting.
People get so much credit for the whole very heavy tennis background, and they played JV two semesters.
Like who?
I'm not gonna go there.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable.
But you know they do that.
Yeah, that is a thing that is done.
Beers,
By the time you
beers
finish
kicking
that
in.
third of a beer, you will
It's gonna come out.
love it.
You want mine?
Well, sweet. So
That's a shout out to Portland.
yeah, we can talk about you
Dude.
too, Jason. Go
Oh,
for it.
got a shout out to Portland. The Austin and Portland, they have this little battle about who keeps it weird, but Portland's way weirder, I think.
Probably.
Who's got more homeless?
That's a toss up. Oof. No, similar. I mean, tennis background, played a lot of sports growing up, lived in Florida outside of Chicago. Kind of like a lot of people got burnt out because I played junior tennis, Junior Davis Cup. And when it came time to play in college, I wasn't bold enough like Carlos to keep going. I was pretty wiped. So luckily got some money to go to Ohio State for some academics and kind of said, I'll take a little break for a while. Enjoyed playing some other club sports there. Graduated, still played some like club tennis stuff. And then,
That's probably good enough for.
that's good. That's good.
I'm just kidding.
Play the music.
Nobody cares. But no, then found pickleball, and I had no idea the following in the Portland area. Like, I mean, old school, Wes Gabrielson, Lang was starting to play. We got tall Spencer Lanier, Stefan Andrew, and that beautiful senior pro, top senior
Very
pro.
good looking guy.
Should get with Althoff. They'd be a freaking unbelievable team.
Yeah, he'd go high, Althoff would go low. They'd play up, down.
Yeah, but no, a few years ago started playing and it was fun. Met you a couple years ago. I'm like, God, if this guy can play pro,
Yeah.
Anybody can
And
do
you
it.
You really
pretty
are a
much.
success story for a lot of us.
You give a lot
I'm
of
an
hope.
inspiration.
You give a lot of hope.
I appreciate that, boys.
God, your calves are great too. So.
Why, thank
Your
you. Best calf to upper body ratio.
Yeah, we need to talk about your ratio.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about it.
What are your thoughts on your ratio?
My ratio is unbeatable.
If you took your calves and his quads,
I do have
fastest
pretty big
people
quads.
ever.
He has some big quads.
Are
And
we
he's
talked
not
about-
shy about it. I mean, think about Tyson McGuffin shorts, and those are even shorter. What Carlos wears.
Yeah. That'll be on the Patreon, though.
Yeah, that's the pay extra for that.
God.
So we actually do have we haven't done a podcast in a little while. We have a ton of stuff
You've been busy.
to talk about. Like first, so we had the PPA Tour Finals, we had MLP playoffs, we had MLP drama after that. So should we run through sequentially? Go through PPA Finals. First and foremost, what did you guys think of the format?
Well, Jason and I were joking about it earlier. It's just a classic pickleball. We don't want to be like tennis, but here we go. Let's copy what tennis does, which I think is fine. It's just such like it's such a topic that like, oh, we shouldn't be like them, but like, why not take a couple things from them? You know?
Yeah.
It's just like,
It's kind of like nationals this year where the format was kind of cool, but everybody wants to keep, to the heart of what pickleball was, keep it, this is original. It's different. Double elimination. Oh, we play everything in one day. Well, now it's round of 32, round of 16. And then to your point, at the end of the year, kind of similar thing. But I mean, also at the end of the day, the results still kind of panned out, how they typically do at a PPA tournament, which is why I like
Can you
MLP.
explain the format real quick?
Well, they do the PPA points. They had 2 round robins, for what was it, the top 8,
Yeah.
for each. So two groups pool play for men's singles, and I think Ben actually lost in one of them.
Yeah,
to
Ben
Zakana.
lost to Connor for the first time in pool play.
Yeah.
So essentially, there's the 3 events. There's there's 5 events: men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed. The top 8 players in the rankings for each of those things gets in. In singles, obviously, it's just you.
Yeah.
But in doubles, if you're the number 1 doubles player, you get to pick your partner first. If you're the number 2 doubles player, you get to pick your partner second and down the list.
Yeah.
And so it did lead actually to a couple of new partnerships. Like, I think it was Riley and Vivian played
Yeah,
together
he
rather
played-
than Vivian and Thomas.
Yeah.
Let's see, were there any other different partnerships?
No, though, what I would have liked to have seen though is if there was like a format that to make it almost a level playing field, which wouldn't be advantageous for the number 1 person, but
like 1 in 16.
1 in 8 had to play. Exactly, 1 in
Yeah, yeah.
16. Because then it's then it's a different shakeup. It makes that person again. I still think that number 1 person has a good chance of winning with whoever they play with, but I think
That
for
number 1 person being.
Ben.
Oh, okay.
They're originally from Austin, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it still kind of came down to some partnerships that were well known.
Yeah.
I really liked watching Riley and Thomas play together.
They played, yeah.
I think
It's pretty fun to watch.
I assume they're going to play some more together
Yeah.
next year. I know Riley had been kind of playing a little bit with a couple with AJ, a couple with Julian, and a couple with Thomas for the end
feeling it
after
out.
the
He's feeling it
after the Matt Wright breakup.
Matt Wright just plays with anybody and was getting higher results. And
It didn't matter.
Didn't matter. He's like, no, I'm like 47, show up, knock it out of the park. It's good. Riley's.
I want to be the Latino Matt Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you can?
I might need to talk to Matt Wright, see what
Yeah.
he does day to day.
He's good.
Just
What's
quit
his
bending
what
your
do you thi-
knees.
What do you think his
Don't
routine
bend
is?
knees.
Tear out your menisci.
Menisci.
What? It's not meniscuses.
Yeah. No, I don't think it is. It's not my first language, but that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, well, you can be the Latino Matt Wright.
Yeah.
There we
I might need
go.
to give him a call.
But I can give you his number.
Sweet.
I mean, I have it after we said fuck Matt Wright so many times over the last couple of podcasts.
That was a good one for the stop Alzheimer's now. So.
For sure. Yeah. No, Pro XR and Game Plus had to talk to me after that one. They're like,
Tone that down.
They're like, rein it in a little bit.
What did you think of some of those matchups?
I thought it was interesting. I really like the idea of pool play into a playoff. That is absolutely my favorite format, and I wish that we would do that more frequently. It's cool because you did have some upsets, right? You know, a lot of the results at the end of the day ended up the same, but you know, Connor beat Ben in singles for the first time. Let's see some other upsets where James and Anna beat Ben and Anna Lee Waters in
Analiaguas.
in mixed, which I think is what their second loss of the year, maybe second loss ever.
Ever,
like
I
that.
think ever. But then James and Anna lost to J-Dub in Georgia. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they lost to J-Dub in Georgia, and I don't think they qualified for the playoff because I think, or maybe I'm wrong, but
Or was
I
it
don't think
semis? Yeah.
I don't think they qualified for the semis. 'Cause
But
it comes down to like point differential.
yeah. And should we talk about the spiciness though at the end of it in the men's dubs?
I mean, obviously, you can take it away.
No, what are your Carlos, what are your thoughts on what Collin had to say? Right place, right time?
Yeah. No, I honestly I agree with what Collin said.
Well, all right. So
No,
for context,
For context, yeah.
basically, like Collin and Ben were playing Julian, and who's Julian's partner?
Who was he playing
He was
with?
playing with AJ.
AJ,
that's
Julian
right.
and AJ, and they were chirping all the time. And Collin and Julian have had they've been, I'd say, rivals probably for about a year at this point. Collin does not like the chirping
They just have like opposite personalities.
very much.
What do you think Collin hates more, netballs or Julian?
Julian?
Okay.
Um,
Just checking.
I mean, Collin has never called netballs the biggest clown in pickleball.
No.
Right.
Nope.
So yeah, basically they were chirping at each other, and actually I think it was mostly Julian chirping at Collin, but Collin engaging in it more than normal. And in the post-match interview, Collin called him the biggest clown in pickleball, and that sort of behavior has no place in pickleball.
All right, let me clear that up. I'm not saying he's the biggest clown in pickleball. That's not what I was agreeing with. I'm just saying sometimes like when your personalities are that different on the court, like I kind of did in Chicago when we played in the AVP. Like if your opponents are giving you that energy,
Then we throw it back.
yeah, you throw it
Yeah.
back.
But we don't ever really start.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's just like whether you want to like the wave off and like no shake hands. That's up to the person. Whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's necessary or not. I don't know how you feel, but like I feel like Collin had the right to express himself, and I actually got a lot of respect for him. Like just being that vocal with how he feels. Like stood by it too.
I think a tough thing too is coming from tennis. The one thing I liked about pickleball these last few years was it seemed like for the most part, people get fiery, but it's almost like a respectful fiery. Like it's kind of funny and all of that. And more you see people that are trying to make a name for themselves. Not saying that's what Julian's doing, but they're always just like trying to get noticed more. And to a point, it's kind of worked for some people, that's what they're known for. But I don't know, even like what we were saying at the APP, there's some people getting loud, making some bad calls, and it's like they want to win so bad they don't care how they do it. And I don't know, it's a little bit of a turn off because pickleball's kind of a little better than
We're
tennis
grown
in that
men hitting a
way.
plastic
We're hitting a
ball.
plastic ball.
So you're saying you were turned on before, and you're turned
Very turned on.
off now?
It was not as much as Rob was apparently at the APP, as Andre said. It was very
right. He was very hard at the end.
Yeah.
Rock
This
hard.
is true. This is true. For
Not
those
that-
of you
I
who
wasn't
don't
that turned
know
on, but-
what we were talking about, did that make it on Memes of Pickleball's page?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Meme of the week.
Immediately, it was like
Rob's-
immediately on
his-
means of pickleball.
They were
His
giving-
face was priceless.
Yeah. Andre's giving an interview at the APP, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Rob was just rock hard that whole match."
Yeah.
I
So
don't
when
know
he
if
gets
you
hard,
said. I don't know if you
the
said
rock,
rock
the rock
hard.
part you might be adding. but-
Yeah, I don't know if you said rock hard.
I'm
but-
embellishing. They got to go check it out for themselves.
I said when he gets hard. That's
Yeah,
when
when he gets hard. Yeah.
But-
I blacked out after that. I'm like, oh, what did you just say?
All right, so begs the question: does Julian's behavior belong in pickleball or no?
I mean, I don't know if the word belong.
That's the word. I think that's the word
It
that
makes
Collin
it
used.
interesting.
It makes
yeah. It's like if that's his personality, then I think it just changes when you cross like the disrespectful line. You know what I mean? If you're playing a different character on the court than you are off the court, which that's another thing. I find that hard to believe when people are like, "Oh yeah, he's a total dick on the court," but off the court he's a great guy.
Yeah,
Well,
I've never
and we-
bought that.
It's like, dude, on the court, your true colors are shown. I feel
Well,
like.
and we hear that a lot. And like Pablo and Fed, I mean, I don't know them that well, but that was always the thing, oh, someone gave the bird. They're not like that. Oh, there's a fight, on the side. Oh, they're flipping off another. After a while, you're like, they're really nice off the, I mean, like they probably are, but it's like, no, I can't, I'm so surprised when people do that. But yeah, to your point, it's like everybody tries to justify it at some point. I would almost rather you just own it. Like, hey, when I'm on the court, I don't give a shit. Like I'm going after it. Fuck you. Like,
Damn, we're gonna raise some good money for Stop Alzheimer's this time.
So
Are cuss words in Spanish double?
Just you.
Okay.
uh-oh.
Puta madre.
Thomas is gonna review this and be like, "We can't air it."
Yeah.
He's like, "This is what you guys do when I'm not there."
It has to air to get the money though. So
That's
we'll
probably
need to
fair.
see,
That's
so.
probably fair. Thomas, you gotta let it happen. I generally do think that people are the same person that they are, just a magnified version, right, on the court.
I agree with that.
I generally think like if somebody cheats on the court, I think they're gonna cheat
In other ways.
or take
They're going to cut
shortcuts.
corners. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to cut corners. off the
They
court.
cut
Yeah.
corners, and I found that to be
It's a good.
kind of true through tennis experience
Yeah,
and
it-
pickleball experience. Now you can be. I think somebody like Fed or Pablo, right? I think that I don't think they're necessarily like. I mean, they can get pissed off, but
Yeah.
I think that just indicates like maybe they have a short fuse in other areas,
Sure.
right? Because they really genuinely are like the nicest guys.
Yeah.
But like, also, I don't want to piss off Pablo. I've never done it, but like,
Because then you're going to get both of them coming for you.
yeah, that's
You're
true.
going to tweet together. They're going to get after you.
It's all right. AJ will defend me.
AJ, dude, having a hockey player on your side, that's what I would want.
There we go.
Or a wrestler. You don't want to fuck with wrestlers.
No, that's true. That's for sure.
Add it up.
Anything else on Julian versus Collin? Whose side are you on in this one, Julian or Collin?
I mean, he made his point. I don't necessarily know if I would take a side. I just think sometimes it goes.
Just take a stance for once in your life.
I will on other things. You want to talk about Duper? I'll take a stance. No, I mean, I think it goes overboard. I've played Julian and Thomas Wilson before, which is actually funny because they're like, totally kind of opposite when you play him. And he throws out the andiamos, and it was fine. Off the court, we're chatting and all of that, but I think he took it to probably an extra level in that with the chirping. So.
Yeah, I think he probably knows it gets under Collin's skin.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If it I would almost love to hear his response to it. Like, yeah, I was doing it extra. So
Wait, what was Julian's reaction to Collin not shaking his hand? I didn't really see
he
the
kind of
follow-up.
tossed the.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he kind of just gave a little ball toss towards him.
I mean,
and it
I
was funny.
have no problem with Julian being like that on the court. Like Julian's like super nice to me, like off the court. Like he, but like I know that he just gets like super fiery on the court. But it's like I feel like he shouldn't be that mad that like Collin react like that, just because they're so opposite. Like you got to also understand, like, yeah, people just don't like that, and he did it to piss him off,
For
like,
sure.
to get him off his game. So like
I mean, I don't know if we I don't know if we know that for certain,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
maybe he just was more amped up for whatever reason
Yeah.
that day. But like I would assume if there's a little bit of history there, I would assume he would probably go a little bit harder than
they
normal.
live in the same city too. That's tough.
It's not like they're it's not like they're at the
He
pickle
does live in-
ranch. It's not like they're at the pickle ranch playing rec in the morning.
we didn't see him today.
No, we did not. So where is the line between where is the line between acceptable and unacceptable or disrespectful or whatever?
Well, I think it's also an important question to ask is how do you want pickleball to be viewed, right? Because some people think MLP a couple times with the vuvuzelias and all that, they're trying so hard to, everybody's chirping more at MLP and it's almost like a WWE, thing. So I'm kind of curious, like what do you want pickleball to be viewed as? Because people are going to keep chirping as long as it gets them, recognition and brand and all that. And everybody's trying to grow the sport, but it kind of looks clowny at times. I think that's what Collin is kind of saying. So I think there's a line, and sometimes people are crossing it, and maybe people are just going to get called out more for it. Who knows? They're like, yeah, you look like a fool. We still won. I don't know. So.
Yeah, but what is the line? What exactly is the line? Is it when you direct something at your opponent?
When you get personal.
Yeah.
Get personal.
Yeah.
If you're bringing up personal
Racist
stuff on the
or something.
court.
Let's say
Okay.
personal, racist.
yeah.
That's probably crossing
That's
it.
not just in pickleball.
So just the stuff that we say on the court and
Yeah.
rec play, or
yeah, exactly. If you
When we
film,
bring up our
if you film-
ethnicities, that's not
if you
good.
filmed our rec play,
That's crossing
that's
the line.
That's
crossing the
crossing the
line
line.
for sure.
right?
I think Jack
but we
did.
can do it because that's our humor. We're all friends,
Yeah.
and no one's gonna take it personal, you know. But like, if you're playing someone that you're not even friends with, and you're bringing up just disrespectful personal stuff or crossing that line on the court, that's not okay. In any sport, not just pickleball, but if you're doing that in soccer or whatever, it's not okay.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's a good point. Like I haven't had a problem with people. You know, I've gone back and forth with Travis in matches. I actually kind of enjoy it. Right, like he bagged me a few times, and he was talking mad shit, and then he popped up a dink, and
you did this one?
I was showing him where he dinked it to, and I let him know that he dinked it to right here. And there's a pretty funny picture of me. I'm like, yeah, Travis, that was a great dink, bro.
Show the picture.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can
see
get
you
that
post
done in post production. But I think I'm okay with basically any talk so long as it's pickleball talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, you know, even Travis was saying to me, like, he popped up your dink, like that's the spot, that type of stuff.
yeah.
I'm like, you know, that's fine. But
You
if
don't
he says
go like, yeah, the spot.
What's your favorite chirp, Zane?
my favorite chirp,
Yeah. Oops.
I do
like oops.
really like when you hit a net cord and you pretend like you're upset. You over pretend like
Would
you're
you do
upset.
it to Collin?
Would I do it to? Oh, I do it to Collin. When we play rec play. So if we play rec play, I will, and I play with Collin. Like I'll let him know. In real matches, if I hit the net against Collin, I just don't say anything because I'm done. I'm not apologizing to anybody for a net cord.
It is, and again, I hate to say, but coming from tennis, like the net court thing, I mean, what do you think the factor of net courts happening more than tennis? Like I've talked about this with people before. Like it is really a part of the game. And when you're only playing a game to 11, which is, I mean, it can be over like that. If, you know, people are playing well, you get a few net courts, you're like, Jesus, we just lost 11-1. What just happened? But I mean, it probably happens like a factor of what? 10x over tennis let balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane.
Yeah, I would say even more.
Even
than that.
more.
I mean, it's
We played a match and there was like, somebody counted, it was like in the teens of net balls that didn't go in our favor. And it's like, oof. So I get people getting upset because they're like, geez, that was really bad luck. And everybody, oh, it'll even out. Yeah, maybe next tournament when we're
I
not
just
there.
think that I'm a strong believer that net cords are a skill. Like the
Yeah, you
best,
said that before.
the best players get the most net cords. Yeah, I don't have any actual data to back that up, but
That's
Ben
solid.
Johns is the luckiest player there is. Ben Johns gets the most let cords. If you play with a certain margin over the net, and like it's if you're hitting your spots, like you're going to miss low a little bit and
So lucky.
have it go over.
We hear
so
that.
lucky.
I think
It's
the best,
Carlos's
the
favorite
best players hitting the net in pickleball and having it go over is absolutely a skill.
No.
In tennis, you don't want to be aiming an inch over the
No,
net.
you
No,
There's
no.
reason to.
You're
You're trying to shoot that
And a
ball.
lot of time, if you're the one hitting the net, it's not playing towards your favor. It's just gonna pop up
so
and,
high.
and be a short.
And that
yeah.
ball bounces high,
Yeah.
so you're getting it.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah, I'm of the opinion that sorries for let cords are garbage.
it's more like, I'm not sorry I won the point. I'm sorry that you didn't have a chance.
I'm not
get
sorry
it.
that they didn't have a chance. If I wanted them to have a chance, I would just hit it right to them every time. I'm trying to hit it away from them. I'm trying to hit a winner past them.
What
Yeah.
about hitting the net and like little fist pump, like you're happy about it?
And you're,
Is that a dick move?
I do think that that's kind of a dick move.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I shouldn't, based on my other logic. But I'm not going to say sorry. I'm also not going to celebrate it.
Yeah.
No.
What if it's against Wyatt?
Yeah, then I'm going to scream in his face. Then I'm going to let him know.
Yeah. Poor Wyatt.
can't. All right.
All right.
What do you think? So anything else on the finals?
I didn't have anything else from the
What
finals.
was the crowd? What was the crowd like there? Did they actually have
pretty
an?
good.
Did they have an amateur tournament there as well?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean. Shout out to Sean. He was playing.
Was he? Nice.
True, he was.
Sean from Stop Alzheimer's now. He played his first like official tournament, and unfortunately had to pull out.
Oh,
It
that's
did
right.
not go. It did not go well for
He
Sean.
pulled his calf, but he'll be back.
Yeah,
He'll be back.
he'll battle.
That rehab,
he'll battle.
will be good.
Yeah.
We should talk some shit about Sean while we're at it, because he's gonna listen.
Yeah,
Isn't that
he is.
great? I don't have anything yet. I don't have anything
No, he's
right
too
now.
nice of a guy.
I
Sean.
know.
You sent me that picture you have of him for his contact. That's quite the shirt he's wearing.
He loves the
That shirt
flamboyant
is
shirts.
very wild.
He likes the Sunday
wears it
Swagger
well.
shirts, for
Yeah.
sure.
But the crowd was good there. But then that's why I was asking, because MLP, there wasn't anything else going on. And
Well, it's also tough when you start on a Monday.
I know, and a Monday,
Right.
exactly.
We were like,
Like a super
Actually,
final on
I was gonna say I thought it was pretty good
For being a Monday.
for being
Monday,
a Monday. All right.
middle of the day.
Well,
That's
like for the challenger, it was
Yeah.
pretty weak.
Yeah.
But then for Premier, I felt like it got better.
Started filling in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. So okay, MLP. It was playoffs. It was not a super final, which
Which
Was-
everybody's calling it that, though. It's like,
everyone was calling it that, but it was not. I know that because of the amount that I'm getting paid.
You're getting paid?
You guys ever got paid to play pickleball?
yes.
No. No, I have once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Nice. But so it was playoffs, not super finals, unfortunately. But there was still some good action there.
What did you think about having to play the format of it? Because you guys had to start off like the two top teams. It's like boom, one of you is getting into the final, the other one's going to battle through the back draw almost.
Yeah, so I thought it was good in theory, where we're basically in the winners bracket final
Yeah.
because we were the
Yeah.
number one
and
and
two,
two
yeah.
teams, and they were in sort of the losers bracket final. So basically, what happened was Orlando and DC played the winners bracket final. We won. We moved on to the gold medal match. They lost. They then had to play the winner of Chicago and Miami. Chicago beat Miami. Then DC and Chicago play. Chicago beat DC, and then we were in basically the gold medal match.
You guys put it on that first match. Did you
Yeah,
win
we
3-0?
played well against DC, but
Did you chirp Riley at all during this tournament?
I mean, always
Can we talk about your tucked in shirt?
Yeah, what is with the side tuck thing?
the
Is
shirts.
that an Althoff thing?
No, it's not an Altoff thing. The shirt is like I had smalls at first, and they were too small. They made me look like I had muscles. And
No,
we
you
went
should
to
rock
medium.
that. You should rock that.
Went to medium, and medium is like slightly too big. But also, look at Andre's shorts; those are way too small.
Yeah.
Those things are. Oh, that might be a youth. That might be
Distraction.
Hayden Patrick's shorts.
It's just a distraction. He borrows them from him. I need those hindrance.
So I thought the format was good if you have to have an abbreviated version of it. What I would have loved, though, right?
Double elimination.
No, not even double elimination. Well, kind of a bit of it. Like,
Should we guess more?
what if since we were undefeated and the other teams were coming through the sort of the back, a whole nother match, like basically when that happens in a tournament, you have the game to 15, right? An abbreviated one game. What if we had to play again, rally scoring games to 11 right afterwards?
That's kind of what I'm like. You guys play the slice again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
That
going
would
at.
be.
Like,
That would be. I mean, that would just build up.
That would be so intense.
That would be intense as hell.
That'd be so quick.
yeah,
So,
I like that. I don't mind that idea.
but also it wasn't, technically, I don't know. We weren't technically in like the finals or
Right.
whatever. So
Yeah, but that's what everybody's remembering now. They all see it. It's like,
right, we all
oh.
thought it was a super final.
Yeah, that's
so
what it felt like. But my boy Lang, I mean,
Daddy line.
should we tell him how much he gave us to have cocktails the other night?
Yeah, so
Big-
Jason
big
was
spender
coming
Lang.
to town. Jason was coming to town, and I said, Eric, for that fucking Houdini act you guys pulled against us, you better Venmo me and Jason for a
good
dinner
night out or
for,
something.
for a beer or something. Eric Lang,
I should like.
the generous guy that he is, sent us how much money, Jason?
I mean, he Venmoed us with a note. Super nice of him. So he said, Eric Lang, $2.14, 99-cent value menu drinks, 2, and 8.25% Austin tax for you and Zane.
It was nice of him to look up the Austin tax. For
Yeah,
that.
big baller. And then I joked with him. I said, let me guess, you're sticking this in like a mutual fund that makes like 3.5% or something. He's like, yeah, close. I got, he's got kids, college funds.
He told me
he's smart.
T-bills.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, I had zero confidence in Eric Lang in that Dream Breaker before it started. I was like, oh, for sure, Dask is gonna,
Well, they made it through a couple Dream Breakers.
I know. And then he played well.
He did. He's been working.
Yeah.
He's been working.
Yeah. So that's.
I mean, and let's
fun to watch.
and talk about. I mean, he's a dad of 2. He was working for Head. He was trying to play as much as he can, which is tough. Like, I think you bring up a lot of time, like people that go full time versus a lot of us are still doing it as much as we can. And you can see the difference a little bit. More focus, getting more touches, working on his, his fitness, got a different paddle now. I mean, the guy was doing well. And I mean, he showed that, that Jim K guy who always talks a lot online, where's that apology for, talking all that smack, huh? I mean, come on. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say the full name.
Jim K.
I
wonder who
is that?
Talking
Who
about.
is that? He's probably so happy that we just brought that up, but yeah.
Feeding the ego.
I know. Feed it. So.
Okay, so there were some other interesting bits from Major League Pickleball. The Genie Erokhina's taunt teardrop celebration at Tina Pisnik.
Was it at Tina Pisnik or at Cassidy?
I think it was at Tina. It looked like it was at Tina.
Okay. Like she went like this?
I think she went like this,
like this?
something like that.
Wow. Yeah, I
That
saw
was something.
I saw it happen. I was like, what? And then I saw someone reposted it saying like pretty cold after winning. I didn't really notice if anything was going on during the match
I have no idea.
or it was just her being her against Tina. There must be some beef there.
Is there beef there?
Apparently, I don't know the beef history.
Now there is.
Now there is for sure.
I like that though.
Did you like that?
Are you gonna use that? Are you gonna implement that into your game?
The teardrop?
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah, you're gonna use that in your next points draw?
Yeah. What? I don't play PPA. I'm APP. Come on now.
Did you like it?
I didn't really like it. No, I mean that just felt, I don't know. That felt like match is over. You're just kind of showing them up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny when people, I almost like it because like the match is over and you have your 1 second of like, I can say whatever I want because I know I'm not going to end up losing this match. It's like, jeez. It's like, that's an easy way,
I
but
feel like they just, if you do it at the end, they just don't have a response.
Yeah,
which
they
I feel
don't
like
have a
is,
chance.
and they don't want. They
so
obviously
you would
don't
have
want
rather
that.
see it during
Yeah,
to kind of just build up the tension, like of
you
of the
gotta
match.
give them a chance to rebuttal.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think you got to give them a chance to rebuttal
it's that much sweeter than if you can win after you do it during the match.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think, even no matter how much crap is talked during the match, I try to keep it very civil after the match.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like happy-go-lucky out there. You're having fun, just crushing it
With your shirt tucked in.
with one side tucked in.
Half tucked.
You wear extra small shorts with a medium shirt. It's a
You
good
got
look.
the legs though. It's fine.
This is true. I do have the legs for it.
Calves.
So does Andre. Andre's got legs for
Who's
days
got the
in those
best
shorts.
legs on tour?
Like full-on legs, proportionate,
legs.
not like his calves and, Sincola's
Ass.
rear.
Ooh, Emmerich Martin's got
Emmerich,
nice
yeah,
legs.
He's got.
I saw that guy
Put some
once. I
trunks on
think
him.
he was done playing. He hopped on a bike or something. Was still getting a workout in. That guy does not miss any part of leg day every day. It's impressive.
Think he counts macros?
He probably counts everything.
Dude counts micros.
Drops,
Dude counts as micros for sure.
made drops, missed overheads, everything. The machine.
Who do you guys think has the best male legs? At some point, we're gonna rate every male pickleball player's body parts.
We're gonna move
have
up
a-
to the
have a
male,
list. Yeah, I mean, like, we can go for pecs next, but we've already got male butts.
Yeah.
Now you brought up.
the butt category is covered.
Yeah,
Brandon Long and Johnson Cola.
and you don't sleep on T. Willie.
Oh yeah. T. Willie. I like.
Thomas Wilson.
Yeah, I know. He's got a nice donk.
Some people say that he does. Yeah,
Wow.
Some people, yeah.
including myself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you brought it up. Who else has great legs?
I have the best legs.
His quads.
Pro players.
Oh, I thought we were saying 5-0 plus.
You're 5-0 now? Oh, yeah. It's the duper.
After
After our APPs,
Yeah,
duper jumped.
I know.
Jesus, riding the coattails.
Jesus. Yeah, like relevant people, you mean? Dude, Alshon's got some pretty nice legs.
Alshon does have
That guy
nice
works
legs,
out. Yeah.
for sure.
He
He's
works
good.
out.
What about Andre?
He's got some long legs.
He's got
Daddy long legs.
What about Ben's legs?
I mean, he's in shape with his legs.
In shape.
Yeah.
What about Hayden's legs?
I love Hayden.
I'm not gonna comment on minors.
Oof. No, he's 18 now.
Oh yeah, great legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, he's
All
quick.
right.
He's quick as shit. I love that kid.
All right. Well, moving right along. So we were on the court warming up for our final match, and they go out there and they start announcing the Pro XR Sportsmanship Award. And they start talking, and Cameron Blackwood is saying, like, this person embodies, everything about
Integrity.
pickleball,
You start walking
integrity,
off the
all
court.
this stuff. And I'm like laughing.
You're like, I have to go
"Yeah,
get
okay."
I gotta go get a beer.
And he's like, I've actually invited this person to my home state. I'm like, she invited me to her home state to do some clinics one time.
Wait,
I was like, but there is no way. There's no way. And then she's like, the one and only Zane Navratil. And I was like, is there another Zane Navratil here somewhere? Like, they got to recount that
So
shit.
it was a.
how did they vote on
It was the.
I have no idea.
It was a sponsored by Pro XR, the award.
It was. But Pro XR,
shocked.
they actually told me, I called Joey and Ron, and
And they're like, no, we didn't vote for you.
well, I called them and I was like, you guys had to have pulled some strings for that, right? And they're like, no, they actually don't let us have any say in it.
Wow.
Okay.
So they didn't pull any strings. I was
You're just a great guy.
shocked.
I mean, you're a nice guy.
I
Do
mean,
you feel like you show good sportsmanship?
to an extent. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I talk. I
You talk a lot of
crap.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the way you do it though. Like you're smiling,
It's funny.
you're having it. Yeah. So that's different than what other people do, where they're like pounding their chest, walking towards someone like they want to fight them all the time. So that's why. I mean, it's the way you do it. It's the
All right,
presentation.
who would you have given it to? If you can't vote for you.
I probably would have given it to BDE, Big Daddy Eric.
Oh, dude.
I was thinking something else.
What were you thinking?
Big something Eric.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
He's a hell of a
Is it-
nice guy.
He's a good. Yeah, he's a good. I mean, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I probably would have given it to Eric of the players that played a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
the Kawamotos always deserve
They're
it.
super
Yeah.
nice.
Let's see, Lacey's great, Ben's great. Like, I mean, that whole Chicago team probably could have got it.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice peeps.
Who
Rachel,
wouldn't
Anna,
deserve it?
who wouldn't deserve it?
Who would it would be the biggest joke you've ever heard?
Ooh,
Besides Zane, yeah.
Julian.
What?
Probably would have been Julian.
That would have been
But also,
Fair.
like, he talks crap, but he's not like Julian's never cheated, to my knowledge.
Right.
At
No, I
least
don't
he's
think he
never
makes-
cheated me. Like,
yeah.
Who makes the most questionable calls?
Where to begin? You guys can talk about that. I'm just gonna play Tyler Loong here while you guys
Oh.
have a real
Hey,
conversation.
Jimmy, who,
I'm Jimmy.
yeah.
Fuck.
You wear smaller clothes, you're fine.
I honestly don't watch like closely enough for really that stuff. I mean, there are obvious like candidates that we see over and over that make close calls, but other than that, it's nothing groundbreaking that I'd be like, oh no, actually, this guy makes bad calls.
Well, I think here again, a better question is when are they going to do something that's actually going to deter it more? I think you've brought this up. I mean, now they're playing for serious money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even when you're playing like us, playing APPs, like we're doing it because we want to compete, right? We want to knock off some more of
It's
these.
fun.
Yeah, we want to knock off more MLP players and to show what we can do. And then you have people that are like, I will do anything to win. And they know when they look over at the ref, I mean, the most common thing, oh, I didn't see it. It's like, dude, the ball
I was looking at my
inside.
clipboard.
It was inside the line. How did you
Looking at my
not
feet.
see that? Yeah.
I was looking at my feet.
Yeah. I was outside the kitchen. I'm fine.
Safe.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys are playing for some big bucks now. I mean, Hawkeye is so expensive. It's not going to come anytime soon. And then when you get line judges, it's the same problem. I don't know. Did the ball compress? Did it not? Yeah. It's like, how do you get away from that? because then you're going to stop the cheaters. But I think you brought up once before, you know, strike one, strike two, third time you like lose a point, you lose a game. And then I think everybody's going to, anything close, they're going to play it. Like we should do that during rec. And then Carlos wouldn't call it. He'd just play everything.
Yeah, close call Carlos over there.
He's got a new nickname today. Yep,
That's a
close
good
call,
nickname.
Carlos.
It is a good nickname.
You like that? I know you did.
I don't make.
He's an honest guy. No, Carlos is an honest guy. I played with him.
appreciate it.
Honestly, we've probably played out balls before when we've played together because we don't want to win. I don't want to win that.
I mean, I
way.
hit every out ball.
we did.
That's true too.
Out.
No, but yeah, I mean, even in I mean, we keep bringing tennis up, but it is a good comparison. Like, there's still bad calls in tennis. You know, like if you are just relying on the ref, like someone's always going to lose still. You know, so it's like, yeah. What I don't like is like when you question a call, like it happened in Chicago a lot. You question a call, and then the ref takes like 10 seconds to tell. Oh, it was in or out.
It's almost like you have
Yeah,
to.
they got to think about
It's
it.
almost like you have to
about it.
sell, and you almost have to sell them on it. Like, come
No,
on,
for sure. You said it confidently.
You already overruled them
in-
once before. Come on, it's 13-13. Let's go.
Yeah,
you know,
in tennis is immediate. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
no, overrule, or no,
Right.
it was out. You know, it's like, okay, move on. You know,
Yeah.
but here it's like, they're like, oh, they like tell you to wait, and they're like, it was out. You're like, dude, just,
It's either in and out, and it's
yeah, it's
immediate.
either in or out.
I think they're scared shitless sometimes. They're like,
They are very easily
I'm like,
influenced.
oh,
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. You can get away with whatever you want with these referees. Well, you guys were telling me about Neil, right?
Yeah.
About
Let's bring that up.
Well, I just did.
yeah.
Tell
You tell
me
the
how
no,
you-
you tell the story.
All right. So,
They were in like a backdraw match.
yeah, backdraw match.
Him and
I
Joey.
think it was Joey Farias and Neil. It doesn't even need the last name because everyone knows who Neil is, right? Anyway.
Records everything so he can get that shot that he wants. Records
Anyways,
everything.
They're playing APP Chicago on they're playing on the practice court. That was I think it was practice court. It was a completely different color.
Those courts were awful. I hate those rollout courts. Sorry, they're awful. Go ahead.
They were really good.
You hated them.
They're playing. They're down match point. There was kind of like a agreement between players before the match, like, hey, if there's a really bad bounce, do you want to just play it or do you want to like do a redo? You kind of have to agree before.
Oh,
If
really?
it rolls, it's an obvious one. And that happened a couple times.
Right. So they're playing. They're down.
There were balls that rolled.
Yeah.
There's a video of one where someone served it and it didn't even bounce. It just hit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It was tough. So anyways, they're playing. They're down match point. A ball bounces around the kitchen line and it kind of skids. And I think either Joey or Neil miss it. And then like whatever, match is done. They go tap paddles. And then Neil's like, what? Something he brought up like, that was a bad bounce. Can we replay the point? But Joe, I mean, you know Joe, he's a super nice guy. He was just like, it's over, whatever, they go on. But Neil's still complaining about it. And then the ref brings it up to like a higher up ref. And then it goes all the way to like Byron, I think.
Yeah. And this lasts like 30, 45 minutes.
45 minutes of discussion. And like the other team, it was Sammy Lee and Tyler Hong.
Yeah.
They're actually a really good team.
Yeah.
Super solid, like seemed like nice guys. And then they're like, we won this already. Neil somehow does his Neil
loophole.
Found a loophole. 50 minutes later, they go back to the court to replay the point.
Oh my goodness.
And Joey was like, you could tell he was a little uncomfortable. Like we lost. Like let's go. You know, let's get out of here.
He was trying to lose it.
And Joey, like, from what he told us, he like, I was in such an uncomfortable position because like you want to back up your partner, but you also like know that you already lost. So he returns the serve, just plops it back like super high and kind of short, and they like rip two balls at him, and like the last rip just goes like 20 feet out. So then they're back in the match, and Neil's going like Ben Johns, like just taking over the court, like saying, "Come on!" They win like 3 or 4 points, and they eventually lost. But it was just like,
you know, the other team's like, "Are you kidding me? This is gonna happen right now." Like
That's tough when you leave like judgment calls though, right?
Yeah.
Like it's okay, you've agreed beforehand. If there's a bad bounce, well then it's impossible.
It
to
should have never
define a
gotten to
bad
that
bounce.
point.
Well, and again, there were a lot of these. Lee Whitwell and I played mixed, and we were playing Yates Johnson and Vivian Glausman, and lose the first game. We're up like 9-7 in the second game. Lee hits a sick topspin lob. Looks like it hits the baseline. Yates almost does this sick tweener while he's fallen into the fake fencing there. hits the top of the tape, doesn't go over. So we're like celebrating. I think we were going to get the ball back to serve. And Viv, to her credit, because it's part of the rules, just asked the ref, like, hey, did you see that? Like, the point's over. And the ref's like, yeah, I saw it out. And you could tell, like, it was kind of uncomfortable for all players. We're like, really? Oh, okay. And I don't hate somebody for asking because it's part of the rules. It was kind of, well past. So then we end up losing 11-9. But it's another one of those, like, you're telling me you saw the baseline when someone's trying to hit a tweener and they're on it. And it was disappointing. But there's like how many matches that happens? It's like, I don't know.
I mean, I
like,
think you need to, in tennis, you have to make a call.
Just make a clear, loud call.
Yes.
Make it I think you have to have a combination of a couple things. You have to make a call, and then if you're overruled a certain amount of times, there are penalties. So you need to have both. I don't think you can just not make a call. Currently, you can. You just ask after the point, and they'll say whether they saw it in or out.
Which is crazy because most of the time they can't see it. But the hardest place is like on the baseline. You're like, wait, I thought you were watching our feed at the kitchen. Yeah. You saw that one on the baseline back there? Oh my goodness.
I had a ref once. I hit a serve towards the baseline, and this is a serve, right?
Spin
Beginning
serve?
of the point.
Spin serve.
It was spin serve time.
Dirty.
It was spin serve, and I hit it very deep. The guy calls it out. I thought it was probably in, so I asked the ref, "Was that out?" And the ref, without me missing a beat, goes, "I'm watching the kitchen." I'm like, dude, I just served. Why are you watching the kitchen?
Because he thought you were gonna run up an Ernie or something real quick. I've seen it.
I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
I don't think I even argued after that. I was just like, all right, I'm not winning anything here.
I give up. I'm playing.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully the technology will continue to improve, or to your point, there's something put in place that is going to deter some of that.
What is the rule right now? Like, if you get overruled, is there like an overrule?
In APP or PPA, there is no repercussions for getting overruled 1,000,000 times. In Major League Pickleball, your team gets 3 free challenges, meaning if you make a bad call, you go down to 2 free challenges. If you make another bad call, you go down to 1 free challenge. And that means you can either challenge the other person's call or they can challenge yours. If you challenge my call and my call was incorrect, I lose a challenge.
And I get to keep mine.
And you get to keep yours. And you can continue to challenge, but every time, if you have 0 challenges left, you're basically gambling a point. So let's say it is 18-18 and I have 0 free challenges anymore. I think you make a bad call. I say, okay, ref, I challenge, but I'm wrong. I'm subtracted a point from that position.
Right.
It might be either that or you get a bonus point,
right.
one or the other. So there's an actual, there's actual.
That happened
issues.
in MLP Dallas, right?
At
some point.
Was that used?
Someone lost. Oh no, sorry. It was the whole Fed thing. Since he got the card, didn't they lose a point? Or the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost a point. They went at 19. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of similar to like getting overruled.
Yeah.
You can probably see I'm wearing maybe not my Viore pants, as I always am. I wear them everywhere. Zane is wearing his Viore shirt. So you can go to viore.com/thedink, and you will get, I think it's 20% off purchases over $75. And I mean, Viore is like the best brand for on-court, off-court, lounging, showing up to a party, you name it. And we wear it constantly. And we'd wear it even if they weren't a partner of ours. Viore.com/thedink.
MLP, wrap up, you liked it. It was, thoughts on what are we doing next year with all this stuff?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. Obviously, we would have liked to have won, but we put ourselves in as good a position as we could have. We were up 2-0. Rachel and I were up, I think, like 17-15 or something, and then Lacey and Eric just played. They played unbelievably clean.
Played good.
I think they won the last 6 points in a row. I think they won 21-17 when we were up 17-15. So, I mean, sometimes you can just say too good.
Too good.
Like
Ben drafted well.
There you go.
He's a good drafter.
He saw the potential in Big Daddy Eric.
Big Daddy. He was the best player on the planet. 2 2 events ago for that
Yeah,
game.
for like
7
17
minutes?
For
minutes.
7
yeah.
minutes.
For
He
sure.
was like
They beat-
Thor. He was like Thor with a hammer
Didn't
in his
they beat
hand.
Alshon and Riley like 21-7 or something like that?
Destroyed.
He was
It was
possessed.
insane.
God, I've seen that animal before. He's a beast. He's a beast.
Um,
Job, Lang.
All right, so last thing was we now know the. So originally there was going to be sort of a promotion and relegation from Major League Pickleball based on this year's Season 1 and Season 2 results. Because of all the confusion and everything, they changed it to an auction. So it was a Dutch auction, which I have no idea what that
Ooh,
means.
I love the Dutch.
Sounds exotic.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
what that means?
No, I just
No.
love the Dutch. Yeah.
What?
I love the Dutch.
Okay, shout out to the Dutch. Shout out to all the Dutch fans of the
Love
Pickle Pod.
Amsterdam. We love you.
But basically what it means is every team put in a bid for how much money they would be willing to pay to start in Premier next year. And
It's crazy.
the top 12, basically they took the 12th highest bid, and the 12 highest bidders got in, but they all paid the dollar amount of the 12th highest bidder.
Gotcha.
So let's say, so the teams that got in were Arizona, Columbus, Dallas, DC, LA Mad Drops, New Jersey Fives, New York Hustlers, Orlando Squeeze, Seattle Pioneers, St. Louis Shock, Texas Ranchers, and Utah Black Diamonds. Let's say Utah Black Diamonds bid the 12th highest amount. Let's say it was 400,000. That means
then that
all
would be the standard for.
that would mean all of those 12 teams would pay the 400,000.
And this is on top of what people originally paid to buy their teams. Like, if you're an owner, are you a little like pissed because you're like, man, besides all the jumbling around and changing, it's like, okay, I thought this was the way we were going to do it. Now I'm having to spend more money, regardless of how rich someone is, right? Like, I mean, was there a clause in there that said, hey, we're going the Dutch route, maybe, potentially. It's down at the bottom here. But I mean, wouldn't you be pissed if you're an owner? You're like, Jesus, really? Now I got to spend hundreds of thousands more because you're changing it during the middle of the season? I don't know.
I mean, possibly. I think it just looks, maybe there's different types of owners. Meaning
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
let's think about the Squeeze, right? The Squeeze are investing probably more money into their team than any other ownership group. They have 4 full-time employees that are traveling to all these events and stuff. For them, let's say we were just a mediocre team and we finished last and they're like 24th in the standings.
Yeah,
Well, it's great for them because they can buy their way in.
sure.
Other teams who maybe came in with the very first round of Major League Pickleball funding, who bought their team for $100,000, they're probably like, yeah, this is garbage. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
So it probably depends on the team. Some of them are probably excited to be able to buy their way into Premier. Like,
You got big purse. You're like, that's fine. I can do this. But it's just, it's like, it's pickleball in a nutshell, right? Like 3 years of 2 tours, things changing like crazy, team events added. And then, oh, by the way, now we're going to switch it up again on you. When it looked like it was going to go away, it was going to be 24 teams in Premier. Now it's going to be Premier and Challenger. It's a wild ride.
yeah, but I think the idea and the hope is that, you know, if you're a good enough challenger level team, you can be promoted.
I like that. I honestly
I like that idea.
I like it too because it gives you something to fight for. I wish they would have kept it like that because then some of these teams, you could tell they're out there playing, they're getting their money, and then it's like, well, they're changing it up. Who cares, right? So,
Do you like the Premier Challenger, or would you want it to all just be one?
I like Premier Challenger.
Yeah.
I think it makes it interesting for the bottom teams. I mean, like, American sports have an enormous tanking problem because all the incentives are to, if you're not
If
going to
you're the
make
worst,
the
you get
playoffs,
the best pick.
if you're not going to make the playoffs, you might as well tank
Yeah.
or rebuild or whatever. And, you know, English Premier League doesn't have that issue because if you tank, you
You're
go
in the bottom. You go to the second division
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So it makes them need to play.
Yeah.
So I like it.
and you like the team format, obviously, the MLP format. I mean, you like tournament play too. It's just there could be a good balance of both.
Yeah, I think that the vast majority of players likely want to play some of both. Meaning, like, I have so much more fun playing the team stuff.
Oh yeah.
I would like to play the majority of my schedule as team stuff, but it's also important to have those individual tournaments to to basically just stay sort of sharp, play more.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was Tim Parks. I liked a point he made before, and it's the formats that were changing about some of those top players when they got rid of the double elimination, how they were able to keep playing and practicing more high level. And again, going back to the whole talk about, well, we're not tennis, but we're switching formats.
Yeah.
That I hated that. And I thought that Tim Gellman brought up a good point. You know, like Ben and all them are getting so many, they're already really great, but they're getting so many more reps. They changed the format. Now newcomers coming in are like, well, geez, I don't have a chance to play against top people, you know, because I'm going to get knocked out early. There's no come around. I don't know. It's
What do you
frustrating.
think is the magic number of like MLP events or team events a year where like you don't want to have too many because then it stops being like special. You know, it just gets too boring.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can't do escape rooms as much too. By the way, we did an escape room and crushed it.
We had
we had
many
hints.
from this guy who was
He gave. We didn't ask. We didn't
Doc
ask.
from the Escape game in Austin. Shout out.
We didn't ask for him though.
But we needed them.
We
He
did.
knew-
Yeah, we
he
did.
could
Yeah.
tell.
It was rated hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a good balance?
What do you guys think? I'll let you guys lead this one off.
So it's been 3 and then final, 3 final, right?
Yeah, basically, essentially.
I think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I don't.
I think you mentioned this before, but it was like the first one's super exciting because like new team, you want to see how everything plays out, and then the middle one is like a little bit of like and then the third one's like exciting because you're trying to like make the super final, right? So it's like, I don't know.
I like building to something. You know. But too many, yeah. And I hate the argument because I think we talked about this before, where they said, well, someone said, well, you need the tournament play to know who the best players are. You know, this is how a lot of sports are when you have a full
Who are
team.
the best players?
Best
in the
players.
NBA? You can't tell who they are.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, Jordan then picked, Magic Johnson to go play 2-on-2 versus something. No, he had a whole team. He had Bill Cartwright on his team, for God's sake. BJ Armstrong. Come on, man. He did. I mean, look at MLP. You had the best players. Ben Johns ends up showing what he's got. When he shows up and he's ready to play, look what he did. Number 2 player in the world, Zane Navratil, right there.
I thought you were
Number-
gonna say Eric Lang.
No, number 3, Eric Lang.
You still think I'm better than Eric Lang?
No, I'd switch those. Let's go.
You're better than Eric.
Yeah, but again, Riley's in the mix, so it's showing. You got Anna Bright, one of the top females. So this whole garbage about we need tournaments to show who the best players are. No, those were great team players, and they got themselves in the position to win. So I dismiss that. I think that's a stupid argument.
Yeah, if you can tell who the best players in soccer are, you should be able to tell who the best players in pickleball are.
Exactly.
Right? In soccer, there's an 11-person team, and they score like 2 goals total per match. And if
don't
you
go-
can tell who the best players are in a sport that has that amount of action, like you can tell who the best players are in a team format of pickleball.
Messi and Ronaldo are like, no, we need a 2-on-2 tournament.
Right.
The 2 of us versus those 2. Let's go.
Exactly.
That's how we can show that we're better than everybody. It's like, no, stop it.
Yeah, I think that's true. So I mean, if we're doing events the same way that we did this year, I think we could probably go to 9 events.
Yeah.
But
How would you build it up? Would you do like a final in between, or because a lot of people wanted to make it like a regular season, right?
I
Yeah,
kind of
I
like the
think-
final at the end of the year.
Yeah, like
I think
do we
that
need
they
2?
should-
Just go to a final at the end.
I'm saying, like, I think it could get stale if you do the same thing that we did this time. What I think that they should do, and what's been discussed, is sort of break us into divisions almost, like you have, or conferences, right? So
that'd be cool.
in baseball, you have
I like that.
the NL West, let's say, right?
Well, I can tell you watch a lot of baseball.
Yeah, I do. Big fan.
Name
basically,
4
like,
baseball teams
You
right
play, bro,
now. What else can we? Yeah, it's good.
the Chicago Bears.
Chicago.
Bears.
Chicago.
But you have like pods, right?
Right.
So you have the West pod that
Yeah.
plays one weekend. You have the Central pod that plays another, and you have the South or the East pod that plays a different day. And I think you can sort of have like a regular season that leads into a year-end playoff, and I think that's the hope. You're not gonna have Orlando playing the Florida Smash in a single match this year, but you could have the Florida teams are playing their regular season matches against each other in Florida this weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be cool because if you just had one match, the Smash against whatever on one weekend, that takes away from the atmosphere too, because you want all those other fans there, all the other people.
But I think you want pods.
Exactly, yeah. So if you have like a team of or a pod of 4 teams, you get everyone. It still keeps the same kind of atmosphere on the court.
And if it's drivable for fans too, they're starting
Mm-hmm.
Florida's a great spot because there's tons of pickleball fans. They're like, oh my God, there's all these great players that are coming to play. Let's go there, build up some viewership until we get gambling in this. And then every degenerate I know
And then we'll
will be
never see
watching.
Jason again.
I'll bet on, hey, how you feeling today? You good? You good? How you doing? You gonna nasty Nelson anyone? Tell me. There's a bet on it.
Well, you should have taken the over on Nasty Nelsons against Neil.
Yeah.
That's going to be my claim to fame of my entire career.
That was-
Nasty Nelsoning Neil and the Pecker for the
Has
win.
Neil ever nasty Nelson to you?
He's tried
Or in rec or in tournament?
in rec.
Oh,
Who hit the slowest nasty Nelson to get someone that you know? I'm just asking.
We played rec. Carlos, you want to tell this story?
No, he doesn't. He hates
doesn't end
me.
up as a happy story for you, Jason. I don't know why you're telling.
No, don't.
Bringing it
Because
up.
then Zane got me back. It was good.
dude, you just gave away the.
Yeah, good. That's
I
great.
don't care. We're moving on.
No, we're not.
No, Zane.
You brought it
Zane-
up.
Zane showed me what a great friend he was.
I
He's
did.
good. That's why he won that award.
First game, I'm letting this guy stay at my house.
By the way, his
Literally.
cat wakes me up at 5 a.m. This is a talented cat. It can open doors. His cat can open doors.
Yeah,
It's a nice cat, though.
yeah, very nice cat. First point.
Unbelievable cat. No.
It's unbelievable. The gato is unbelievable, no?
Oh, God.
But first point, I'm on the left of the kitchen line. You're serving.
Which that was our first problem.
Yeah,
Oh.
I should never be on the left, ever.
You got skills there. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Friend.
Yeah, still not playing with. I'm just kidding.
No.
No, we're playing.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm looking at Jason. He's kind of like looking around. He's doing like his little tongue thing right before he serves.
Didn't know I did that, but that's,
You definitely do that.
do I?
Yeah, you stick your
Yeah,
tongue out.
I kind of see it.
My
now.
tongue, no,
He's like, "Ah."
horrible pictures because my tongue is always out. So. Why'd I look at
let's
you
keep
when I
that
said
tongue in.
right there?
And I'm like, this guy's about to nasty Nelson me. But it was like, even though it was like, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., I was still pretty much asleep. And I was like, I'm seeing the ball in the air coming so slow. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to get me.
Because I didn't
And
want.
I
I,
had
didn't
no-
want to. I
I
really
had
didn't.
no intentions to move out of the way.
I saw that.
It looked
But-
like
I saw that in
decided
his
that
eyes.
you were gonna nasty Nelson him. You didn't move. You saw that he didn't move,
And I was like,
and he was
change,
like, "Oh,
change my
I'm gonna
serve.
hit it a third of the pace."
Yeah.
and it still got him.
Because you know
But
when you
then-
don't want to hit it hard, you're like, God, I feel like a dick. Oh, I'll try it. Why not? Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm not staying at his house anymore.
But then who won the game?
Yeah.
I think we did.
No,
just kidding, I'm
I'm
just
almost
kidding.
certain you didn't because I nasty Nelson'd you on the last point.
Hit my paddle.
No, he didn't. It hit you in the.
It
hit
hit
the
you-
paddle and moved out of the way. He's got
Dude,
the
you
liars.
cried for like
Liars,
4
tears.
minutes.
I did the teardrop thing. I looked at you.
I did that to you while you were actually crying.
Anyway, what else is on the agenda?
The fetal position that you were in for 15 minutes afterwards.
It was sad. It was really
I
bad.
didn't know you sucked your thumb still.
I did. So I had to get braces.
All right, boys. I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
Well, yeah. Do you have a coach? Somebody else brings up coaching. Like, what is your thoughts on like coaches? Do you have anybody that ever coached you much?
I don't have a coach.
What are your
I
thoughts on
speak
that?
with I speak with Real Clear Stats, Ben from Real Clear Stats,
Okay.
pretty frequently. I'm actually having him. We're gonna film our own little quick podcast on Wednesday, just kind of going through a bunch of the statistical stuff that he did for me in the Orlando Squeeze for the last event. But I don't have a coach. I think that they're certainly valuable. We had Andre's coach with us the entire
Oh, okay.
3 events.
Is that the stay hot guy?
Stay hot.
Oh,
hot.
that's
Stay
right.
hot.
Yes.
I think they're valuable. I don't have one.
What-
I'm open to one.
What are you looking at? Like, what are you looking at specifically in stats? Like, what like if you're like, oh, I did well this match. Like, what are your numbers looking?
Yeah, because they used to throw stats about thirds made. I remember early on, but it was literally if you just got it up in the air. It didn't matter like if you
Right.
smash it. They're like, well, they didn't miss it in the net, so they were really good on their thirds. How are they
Yeah.
measuring these stats? Because
So
I think they're
there's-
important.
So now it's instead of third shot percentage, it's third shot arrival percentage, meaning like
You gotta
you
be
either win the point from a third shot drive, or you arrive at the kitchen in a neutral position.
Okay.
La cocina.
La cocina. So all of these stats are pretty difficult, but some of the things that I look at with Ben from Real Clear Stats is like, okay, well, who deals with our speed ups better? Are we speeding up too much, too little? Who should we return serve to? Who should we hit our thirds towards? That type of stuff. So still somewhat elementary. There's not enough data to say like, okay, when you get a middle ball, you need to attack it at Christian's forehand or something like that. So you take what you can get with the stats.
Is that what you're trying to do? Get the Christian's forehand?
Do you keep a journal?
Not really.
Do you keep a journal like Collin does?
I do not. Do you?
I think a mental journal of like, whoa, we played that guy. Return it to, keep it away from their forehand because they love to rip it. Especially like when Zane's using his delaminated paddles, like don't hit it to his forehand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jackstock forehand was
going to end
that
up
Jackstock
bad for you.
Bad for
We
it.
got some nasty Pro XR prototypes. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
So speaking of paddles and power,
Bro, I'm trying to end this podcast. I'm sick of your ass. All right, but go ahead.
Done. Out of here. Let's go get another beer.
Go ahead. Bring it up. Let's go.
I am hungry too.
I have to go to Chipotle.
Chipotle? That other place was good. Kava?
Yeah.
That was really
And
good.
it finished up, dude.
These guys are so rude. Are they going to be legal paddles? Like, I mean, what are your thoughts on all these poppy ones right now?
I
Not
think
to name it.
the sport needs to define its objectives, and then, or the leagues need to define their objectives, and then we can work from there. Because right now it's just USA Pickleball saying like this is what's legal. USA Pickleball's objective is amateur participation. That is not, obviously that's MLP and PPA and APP want amateur participation, but their objective is going to be something that's friendly to the viewers, which in some cases is going to be different. So I think we're very close to having different rules for different objectives, essentially. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think you can cast too wide of a net with paddles.
Yeah, I think when it gets too fast, everybody likes women's doubles because it's like boom, 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 boom. But some of these things we've played against lately are a little crazy.
Yeah.
They got to zone. They got to bring it back in.
Right, and I'm sure all these paddles are within the rules, within the specifications, but I mean, it just depends on the objective. So, all right, boys.
Do you want to bring
Thanks
up
for
anything else?
Do I want to bring up anything else? I do not.
You don't want to tell
you
people
don't
to
wanna tell-
follow Pickleitos PB?
Oh,
And Jason, Bock PB.
go ahead, boys. Shout yourself out. Go ahead.
Pickleitos PB. Pro XR Carlos 10. You're welcome.
God. CRBN BOCK for more than 10 off. We'll give you more than that. Come on. No, it's been fun. Thanks for talking.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
It's
This is fun. This is way better than any podcast that Thomas is.
Thomas is never coming back.
No.
Well,
He
dude,
might
should
retire.
we
Thanks,
announce
Thomas.
this is the new crew?
This is officially the new Pickle Pod crew.
Just
Um,
change it around. All right.
Well, yeah. So, thanks, boys. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Zane.
So, at the end, you got to say Pickle Pod.
Pickle
Pod.
Pickle Pod.
Pickle Pod.
Pickle Pod.
Done.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,